Hello
Good
to
morning,
all
Shashi.
Women Dialogues. And I'm your host Shashi with you all to create more voice for women and by women. And today's our guest, Miss Wadad. She is a consultant of Vice President of Student Affairs at Qatar University. She has worked at multiple institutions in the Middle East and she belongs from Lebanon, the beautiful country. So we are here with Miss Wadad and listening and knowing how she reached on such a high position in her career, how she reached her successful life. So welcome, Miss Wadad, on this platform.
Thank you, Shashi, and thank you for the invitation. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
And thank you, Vadat, for joining us, for being a part of this mission to empower, to create a voice for us, and as well as for the women who are listening and watching us, and for those silent voice, those might get can empower by hearing your story, your life journey, and can see and reflect their life as well. So, Ms. Wadad, when we are talking about your career journey, definitely you are on very high position. But before starting and reaching out to your career journey, I would like to ask to share your early life, how it was, how it seems like, what kind of things was around you. Yes, please share with us. Uh, can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, Shashi, it's a pleasure to talk to this, and it's very important because yes, I can hear you very well.
Yeah. So yeah, please share with us your early life journey, how it was, what kind of things were around you, what kind of experiences you had in terms of challenging or good or memorable. Yes, please.
Shashi, my beginning was, I'm Lebanese, so war is the theme of my childhood and teenager life, even when I was at the university. So
Mhm.
war, it was the main incident in my life.
Mhm.
And I was like, now I'm around 51, 52. So, it started so early to experience the war. And I think war is very bad. And nobody, no child should be passing through war conditions, but it shaped the personality I have. It taught me something very important: resistance. And
Mhm.
I believe resistance is very important, and this is why I became the person I am. We resisted during war in different forms, irrespective of why and how the war erupted in Lebanon. It's not the issue. The issue is the war taught me a lot. Since I was like, and I passed and I survived many wars. It is not one. We passed through a lot of things, and each phase in my life taught me something. And I can say resistance is the theme of those teaching moments. We resisted deprivation. We didn't have water. We didn't have food. We resisted death, if you want. We wanted to survive, and this is very important. Survival instinct is very important. We resisted outside interferences. We resisted occupation. So resistance is the theme for me, and this is why I developed this skill, if you want. I call it a skill to resist the prejudices, to resist stereotypes about women. Um, and I witnessed women really who resisted physically, mentally, and spiritually in order to survive and continue. And this is why I believe that women should learn first of all how to resist, and should know exactly uh, why they are resisting. It is not only talks, they should also resist with their deeds. And I believe the best weapon to resist is education for women. I know weapon is not a very, when I talked with Bonnie about weapon, she was not happy with the term, but I insist that web education is a very, and it's the most important weapon to resist and survive. And this is what I did. Education was very important for me. And it is not only formal education. It is me reading. My dad, I owe him how he taught me to read all the time and read everything and anything. So to learn, to widen my horizons, to know more about everything, to be up to date. And also my schooling was a Jesuit school. And you know, the French system is a little bit harsh, not, and this also taught me discipline. This enhanced the resistance in me, because I wanted to prove myself, as at the same time I wanted um, to resist the patriarchal format that we were living in the school. So also this contributed to my development. And then I went to the American University of Beirut, from a school which is Jesuit, very strict, to the American system and the American dream, the American everything values. And again, it was another phase of resistance in my life, because I resisted the past and I have to adapt to the new culture where I am. I'm not in the school girl. So also it was a resisting phase in my life. This is why I'm saying that resistance is the theme of my life. And definitely at AUB, I learned a lot. And I got my BA, I got my MA, and then I started my school, my career as a teacher. I taught in a school, and I taught in university as well in Lebanon. I taught sociology and psychology and education. Though this also enriched my experience so much. And I believe that teaching is it's an art. It's a talent that you have, because you need to be passionate about teaching and sharing with people to be able to give. And this is when I started to have a different perspective about how women should be resisting. And this is how I started with my students, to be close to them, to talk to them, and to respect their uniqueness. Very important. So and then after teaching, I started my career at the American University of Beirut, because it was my dream to work where I studied. I am an alma mater. I graduated from there, but I wanted to work in the AUB. You know, I spent most of my time at AUB. So I started as director of student activities, and also this gave me more opportunities to interact with volunteers, with females, to have workshops with them, to listen to them, to counsel them sometimes. And so all of this created this platform for me to be close to women and to issues related to women. And definitely Lebanon is not like any other country. We have more freedom, we have more than other places, but yet we still have stereotypes about women. We still have inequality in terms of work, of how they are looked at, how they are perceived. Even one time, because I have a very loud voice and strong personality, one person who worked with me at AUB, he told me, look, if you are going to stay like this with loud voice, you are not going to get married. And I told him, okay, thank you for the advice. So those are the stereotypes that we lived with. As much as I can to resist those stereotypes, I try, but I figured out that as a one person, I cannot do this.
Yeah.
And it's very important to convey this message and to be together and to accept also people who don't like to change. This is very important. And to try to convey your messages and your mission to people really who are ready for the change. And this is very important. And then in 2009, I moved to Qatar. So I left AUB and I came to Qatar. And in Qatar also I gained a lot of opportunities. And I was member of two professional institutions, NASPA and ACPA. They taught me a lot about equity, accessibility, women issues, and it was an eye opener for me, because I saw that whatever is women are facing here is maybe nothing compared to what other countries are facing. I started to discover this is a global issue. It is not related to a region or country or a place. It is an international. It is related to the perception of the human being, how we are perceiving as a whole women in our lives. And again, this working in student affairs in Qatar taught me also that education again and again might be the solution. And you know how much Qatar value education and how much it's done in the field of education. And this had helped me a lot.
Yes.
So this is in brief how I moved from one, and I tried to reflect on each experience, how it helped me, and I'm still resisting, and I will continue resisting till the end. And please, I want to clarify that resistance is not in the negative connotation that we have about resistance. No, I mean resistance is to try our best to change for the good of everyone.
Right, right.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
I answered
wonderful.
your question.
That's Yes, that's wonderful. And that was really having a lot of, I can say, the way you shared your journey, a lot of inspiring moments, the way you shared how hard it was being in some, particular circumstances and situation, like
Exactly.
sharing those war moments, sharing those patriarchal moments. But as you said, it is true, but it becomes more difficult when you have such kind of situation. And in particular phase of life or particular place where we are currently living or wherever we live. But if we talk in general, globally, all women, or I can say all female, they have certain issues. They are still there. We have a lot of issues beyond boundaries, beyond having particular region, ethnicity, or religion. This is beyond that. We are
Exactly.
we talk about patriarchal system. It's not about particular, like as you mentioned, you experienced, or maybe if I say in India and in many other countries, they still have those, but it's not about
Yeah.
there. I have worked with a lot of women, and while getting those experiences, it made me realize the forms get changed, but things are there.
Yes.
Things are
Yes.
there.
Yes.
But
Yes.
while listening you, it made me realize same time that how you develop in the positive way, the resistance which you are talking about, to develop yourself, to come out from those negative situation which had served to you, even though you don't want it to do. Uh, but when we are talking about your career life, you developed yourself, you became such a successful person. You are working in education, you are working for empowering women and through education. So when we are talking about it, how you see, you use the word as a weapon. Education is a strong weapon. How you see if a woman, we have your example definitely, but a part of that, with your experience, with your work, how you see education can be a strong tool to bring women globally the way it should be, or the way it has supposed to be, the world system, a world we talk about equality, we talk about the all gender should be equal. So how it can help us?
I think education can help by highlighting the uniqueness of women, the uniqueness of the human being, and as well uh, the similarities. When we share globally the same knowledge about a specific issue, we can come up as a group with ideas how to accept it if we don't want to fight it, or to fight it. And there is nothing wrong with accepting something, with accepting the status quo. We need to prioritize ourselves. Education will teach me knowledge, but also as well will teach me skills, how to deal with this knowledge, how to be aware at individual level, at group level, how to deal with things that are around me. So education is more than knowing, is more like developing and reaching your potentials, reaching your utmost abilities. Because for example, if you are not well educated, or let's say you did not go for education, you will never discover yourself, you will never discover your potentials or your talents. And it doesn't have, education doesn't have to be only 1 + 1 = 2 math or reading. It can be any type of educating, so you can invest in yourself and in your talent. It can be how to tailor, it can be how to I don't know, how anything, how to garden, how to do agricultural activities that will give you the minimum. I'm talking about rural areas, women in rural areas. So education will give me the tool and the skills to adapt to my culture, to adapt to my habitat. And this is very important. This is how I look at it. Yani education will equip me with whatever I need to develop.
Yeah, exactly. So when we are talking about the way you are explaining about education, and you have worked a lot with students and all age of students, and same time especially focusing on women, would you like to bring some example, or maybe where you made impact in particular students' life, in their career? Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I remember I have a student. We were in grade 10. I taught to teach sociology for grade 10.
Mm-hmm.
And those students, usually that we have sessions of discussion, for example, a specific topic. And we started certain discussion, and I kept asking, why you think this? Okay, I like this answer, but why? And after, let's say, maybe 15 years of his graduation, he came to work in Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, Miss Wadad, one of the things that I remember about you is teaching me to ask why, Dimitri, you are doing this. His name was Dimitri. And he told me, since then, this was a very turning point in my life, because I started to say why I will do this. If I want to make if I want to fight with someone, I will say why I will fight. And this really touched me, because I felt that I did something that I make of Dimitri a lifelong learner who is going to invest always. And I will share another story. We had a student at school when I used to teach at school. We had a student. He finished his high school, but his family has issues, so he went to Africa to work. And after 2 or 3 years, he came back to visit us in Lebanon, and he told us that the thing that I learned in school was because you taught us that don't leave the electricity open. You have to put off the electricity before you leave the class. And he was responsible of this. He said, when I went as a foreman, and now I am the principal of the industry where he is working, because this is the automatic thing he used to do, to put off the light when he finishes his work. And this saved a lot of money for the company. So the owner, when he comes, he said, there is a difference in the electricity bill. What happened? And they discovered that just because he was doing this, he saved for over one whole year a lot of money, and he was promoted for this. Also, it is a touching story, and I'm proud of it, because small things, and again, it is not 1 + 1 = 2. It is those things, those skills, those small things that will make the whole difference. And Anna, I believe that the details are very important.
Yeah. Those are really touchy, and those are really inspiring again, because the way you shared, and I feel being a educator, when we hear those story from our students, it's the most valuable gift uh, for us, as well
Yes.
as seeing success for those students in our life. So those are really inspiring, how education can be valuable, how it can change, not in terms of only book knowledge, but in other way in life as well. But at same time, I would like to say, you do a lot of painting as well. You do a lot of expression by creating a
Yeah.
lot of beautiful painting, and I can see some of the paintings in your
Yeah.
background as well. Would you like to share with us about this?
Yeah, I tell you the truth, I'm not talented. Yeah, I know myself. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a painter, but every time I go, we have a session with a teacher. She's an instructor of painting. She has sessions every week. I like to go because whenever she is posting also women pictures, so I go just to create a story about this woman. I don't know
Mm.
her. I create the story. I identify. I enjoy painting and doing the colors. And and if we go to the original one and my version, they are totally different, because always I change because I want to tell a story. For example, this
Mm.
is the blue one behind me. Her
Right.
it doesn't come in there, but her mouth is shut. It's
Mhm.
like it is, she cannot. And the other woman, her eyes are shut. She cannot.
Mm.
So each woman in my painting had a story, and it's a long story. For different reasons, she is resisting in her own way. And this is what I
Mm.
like about my painting. I'm so proud of them, although they are not masters of piece of masters. They are just paintings that mean a lot to me. So
Mm.
I
Yeah,
try to
that's
get out
good.
of my system the stories.
That's beautiful. And the way you explain about the meaning, how you created and how you give that meaning, which that story by creating those art. Like you mentioned the blue painting, which is there, a woman, she has shut down her mouth by resisting in her own way that she doesn't want to speak.
Yeah,
That's beautiful way, and I think we can learn a lot as we all women, and we globally, even not women, everyone, they face a lot of challenges in their life, and how one can use their
exactly.
own way to uh, you know develop their strength, as well as show their resistance against particular thing which they want to do. That's
Yeah,
really incredible.
I would like to add one thing, Shashi, about this resistance. And I like to send the message to women that resistance doesn't have to be by confronting and
Mm.
fighting, but the mere fact that you know that you took the decision to be quiet and not to talk is by itself a resistance. A resistance gesture. You have to know this. The only thing that is important, that you are taking the decision that is suitable for you. So this is what I like always to tell my students and my trainee, that if we are not facing the issue aggressively or directly, but at least we know that we don't want to do, it's by itself a resisting act. Thank you
Mhm.
for the time.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Vadat. At the same time, when we are talking about you are yourself as educator, you are doing a lot of work in education field. How you see women role in education?
Oh, Shashi, this is, I think women role is very important in education, because creating role models for young people is very important. And the best forum, if you want to create role models, is in education, in schools, in training sections. Even if you are a physical education trainer, you can be a role model for young. So if we want the improvement of women It should start with role models, and it should start since the beginning. Definitely the family is very important, and the education of the mom and the mother is, and even the grandmother is very important, because the socialization process is very important. But education, women in education play a major role, not only for women, also for men. We are raising up our men to be in a specific frame. We are able to change it as mothers first, as teachers then, and as sisters as well. So education is very important. Women in education is very important, because they are going to transfer the right values, the right knowledge, the right skills, not only to young females, also to males. And they need to know their power in this, because after all, the young boys, the young men, they are attached to their mothers and sisters and teachers. I can tell this. So they have a very powerful, through love and understanding, plus the education, they will have a big impact on how we are going to develop women globally. I'm not talking in a specific region. The situation with women is everywhere the same. So by being role models, by being understanding and loving and kind to those youngsters, they can have a great effect.
Yes, definitely. And when you're talking about these, role models and having impact on these young minds and young life, which as a children, currently we are going through this global pandemic, and we know the most of time children are doing online education. The young ones, they are not able to, have this social structure, is so-called as a school social structure or social school learning system, whereas they end up being at home most of time globally, not particular any place, as you mentioned. So how a woman, because I believe most of thing comes on the being a mother or being a women who are handling and dealing with these young kids' life and their learning and all things. What kind of things would you like to advise, or maybe can share how they can keep doing that momentum of inspiring and creating those role model learning for their children?
You know something, Shashi, I'm against this, the rigid educational system, and the students should be doing this as they are. My concern with everything, not only schooling, they are trying to pretend that we are okay. We don't have any issue, and this is for me a big issue. We don't. Online teaching can be very beneficial. However, it doesn't have to be 7:45 till 2. The student is sitting in front of a computer and doing. I am with more flexible goals of education. Yani, for example, we are a grade 4 students. We know that the students by the end of the year, they should know 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let the student with his mother, with his parent or tutor, plan how they are going to learn, how they are going to acquire those knowledge and those goals, how they are going to achieve them. Maybe one day he will learn everything, and for 1 week he will be reading, doing his whatever he likes to do, things like that. So I would say that the mother should be a little bit lenient, and they should be very, and even if yani, why not leave some space for the students. However, watch out, give him certain activities that he would like to do over online. At the same time, like he is, I am against this very rigid thing regarding learning. And someone who is coming from war, so what? 1 year, it's khalas. We are not learning and teaching 1 year. It's not the end of the world. The most important thing is the mental health of the parents and the mental health of the children. It is not because if he knows 2 times 4 how much, it doesn't matter at the long term. What matters is how he is going to use this knowledge in order to progress and in order to be efficient in the society. I don't want someone who has problems in his mental. He is anxious all the time. He is troubled. But he knows how to do the calculations, frankly speaking. So I think parents should be, I know they are under high level of stress. And I know, because I don't have children, maybe I cannot judge, but I would say that it's very important that each parents will sit with their kids and they have their own plan of how those kids should learn and what they should learn. They are memorizing history, memorizing geography. No, let them learn how to resist the pandemic, how it's important to be safe and survive. This is my modest opinion.
No, that's wonderful. And I think in current scenario, when you said this, learning should be more over project or a goal-based approach rather than making them just to sit in such a manner where it can create more anxiety, more stress for them. So I think these are beautiful tips for mothers who are having kids at home and trying to make them to learn and develop their life or their education by supporting or creating a source of education. These tips can be helpful. So thank you. That's wonderful. And last thing but not least, what one message would you like to give to our viewers who are listening and watching us?
Choose your resistance strategy according to your own values, according to your own preferences, and according to your own goals. There is no one strategy to continue and develop. Read, update your knowledge and skills, and believe in yourself.
Wonderful. It's very powerful in very short way. And why do you feel a platform like this, Women Dialogue, is important?
Yes, it's very important. You know why? Especially that it is getting stories from all over the world, so we can identify with each other, we can learn from each other, we can get tips, and even we can send for asking for advice or asking for opinion about something. This is very important because I feel that it's connecting. It's like you know, connecting everyone from all over the world together. We can identify with this. Even we can I don't know, we can share everything, and it's a safe place. This is very important. And for me, I trust who is listening. I trust who is doing the interview. So this is also very important.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your, the meaning and the values and the trust you have on this platform. I'm so honored to share, hear and same time share your story on this platform. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shashi, for this opportunity, and I wish you all the luck. And I'm ready for any help whenever you want.
Thank you. And thanks to all viewers who are watching and listening us and becoming part of this process. And we would like you to connect with us. Please share, subscribe, like, and thank you. See you in the next episode. And don't forget to check our Full of Resistance, the Wadad works. Her details are available in the description as well. And till then, take care. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.